Hello all, I am Palak Vadadia, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. Today we will discuss the topic that is for loop, range function, break statement, continuous statement and pass statement from unit number 2, that is Python, decision making and loops. So first we will start with the for loop. So the syntax of the for loop is for then value. So for that I use the one variable that is val in sequence and then the body of for. See, in place of val variable you can take any name, that is abc, num, anything. Now see here, the val is a variable that takes the value of item inside the sequence of each iteration. That is, for example, the sequence is what? As a list of numbers. So one by one it will take the number from the list. And the loop continue until you reach the last item of that sequence. And the body of for loop is separated from the rest of the code by using what? It's an indentation. Now next we will discuss the flow chart for the for loop. See here. First of all, for each item in the sequence, so it will check. Is the last item reached? No. Then again it will check. Now the last item is reached? No. Then again it will check. Now in between this, you can write any instructions, right? Whatever the code, whatever the output you want, according to that, you can write any instruction between these two boxes. And then whenever the last item is reached, simply exit from the loop. Alright. Now we will discuss a small program in a for loop. I have written this code in a PyCharm. See here, the numbers are what? It's a 6, 5, 3, 8, 4, 2, 5, 4 and 11. And if you remember, then I just use the square bracket. The square bracket specify what? It's my list. Right, this all are what? It's a variables. That is what you can define string, then dictionaries if you remember, then list, all that things. Now here, what this code will do? It will add all the numbers that is present in the list. So I'll use the one variable that is sum and I have initialized that with the 0. And I use the for loop that is for. Then val what is my variable. You can take anything in place of val. Then in numbers. So one by one it will fetch the numbers from this numbers variable. So first it will fetch the 6 and it will see, oh, 6 is not the last element. So simply the body of 4 is executed, that is sum, that equal to sum plus value. So in place of sum it's a 0 and in place of val first is 6. So now the sum value is become 6. It will take again next number, that is what? It's a 5. So it will check, oh, 5 is also not the last number. So it will again 6 plus 5, that is 11. Now it will take the third number and again it will check, oh, it is also not the last number. So again it will add all this number. This process is continue until you reach the last item. And then simply it will print the answer. That is what? It's a sum. When we want the one by one value, at that time we have to use the for loop. And when we add all this number, then the answer what? It's a 48. Now next we will discuss that is the range function. Now we can generate the sequence of number using the range function. We can also define the start, stop and step size. So this is the syntax for the range, that is range. Then you can give the start, where to start, then where to stop, and then the step size. Okay, if you are not providing the step size, then by default it will consider as a 1. Now here I'll just give you some examples. If you type print then range 10, simply just give us the print range 10 because the range is a lazy function. So here you have to give some list like that. When you type list then range 10, then definitely it will give you all the numbers. That is, it will start from the 0 and it will not include the last number, that is 0 to 9. As I said, here also you can specify the first number and then last number. That is, start number is what? It's a 2. Stop is what? It's a 8. But see carefully, I have not defined any the step size. So when I execute this command, third command, here see the output third. That is what? It's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Again, it will not consider 8. Now the last here, see, it's a 2, 20 and 3. So it will start to generate the number from the 2 and the step size is what? 3. So 2, then 5, then 8, then 11, then 14, then 17, then it's a 20, but it will not consider the 20. So see the output, that is 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. Now here, see the small code using the range function. Here I just take the one variable, general. Here, see, so some name, some string is given, pop, rock and jazz. Here it will take one by one each value. That is I in range, the length of this function. See, what is the length of this? It's a 3. So what it will do? It will take first it's a 0, then it's a 1 and then it's a 2, because it will not take the last number. That's why I use the length function, because I want all the 3 items. And simply print I like. First it will place pop, second it will place rock, and then in place of this it will place the jazz. See here, I like pop, I like rock, I like jazz. Alright. Now next we want to see the break and continue statement. So what is the use of break and continue in Python? So break and continue statement can alter the flow of normal loop. Already we have seen the use of break statement while we have write the code for the while loop. The next, loop iterate over the block of code until the text expression is false. But sometimes we wish to terminate the current iteration or even the whole loop without checking the test expression. So at that time you can use the break or continue statement. Now the break statement, see the syntax is simple, it's just write the black. The break statement terminates the loop containing it. Control of the program flows to the statement immediately after the body of loop. If the break statement is inside the nested loop, the break statement will terminate the innermost loop. Okay? I'll show you the working of break statement. See here in a for what will happen? Here if condition and then it's a break. So what will happen? When I use the break, it will stop the execution of this for loop and this code outside of the for loop is executed. Same as the while. See here also the while, then some text expression is there, then if condition, then if I use break, then what will happen? It will stop the execution of this while loop and it is code outside the while loop. Alright. Now here the flowchart of the break is given. See here, first of all the test expression of the loop is checked. If it is true, then it will check. Is it break? No. Then the remaining body is executed. If yes, then it simply exit from the loop. See how we will use the Python break command in a Python. See here one simple code. First of all, the value in string. So one by one it will take the one. Take the character. First it will take S, then T, then R, then I, N, G like that. Here it will check. first value is what is s. S is equal to I. No, s is not equal to I. Simply the body of is, if is not executed, it will print the value. That is what is s. Now we take the second value, that is t. Now t is equal to I. No, t is not equal to I. So the body of if is not executed, it simply print the t. Now the third thing, that is r. Again r is printed. Now the fourth one, that is I. Yes, I is equal to I. So it will break the execution of this for loop and simply type that is the AND. Alright. Next we will discuss that is continue statement. The syntax is simple as the break. That is simply you have to write continue. The continue statement is used to skip the rest of the code inside the loop for each current iteration only. The loop does not terminate but continues on with the next iteration. See, as we see in the break, the loop is terminated, but here the loop does not terminate but continue on with the next iteration. Now the flow chart is here. First of all, this expression is evaluated. If it is true, then it will check continue, then yes, then again it will check this. And if it is a no, then the remaining body of the loop is executed. And if it is false, this test expression is false, then simply it will exit from the loop. Now we will see how the continue statement work in a Python. See here. First of all, for loop, then if condition. If this condition is true, then here what I have written, it's a continue. Again it will check for the next value. If it is a true, again it will check for the third value, then fourth value, then fifth value, like that. When this condition is false, then and then it goes outside the for loop. Same as the while. See here, continue, again it will check this while expression. Now we will see the small example. See here, I have written same example, that is string, and it will check if it is I, then it's continue. Otherwise it print the value. Alright. So first it take s. S is equal to I. No. Simply it print the s. Then t. Then r. Now I. Consider I. I is equal to I. So what will happen? It will continue to check with the AND. The code will not print anything. It simply just take the next character. So the next character is what? It's a N. So it will check. N is equal to I? No. Then it will print N. So here you will not find I. And then simply it's the AND. Now we will discuss the pass statement in Python. See, in the programming, the pass statement is what? Is a null statement. It's just like your comment. The difference between the comment and the pass statement in a Python is that while the interpreter ignores the comment entirely, but the pass will not ignore. Then, however, nothing is happen when the pass is executed. The result is just like a no operation. The syntax is simple, that is just pass. And suppose we have to loop or function that is not implemented yet, but we want to implement it in the future. So in place of pass, we can write our function. See, right now we don't want to write anything. So I just write the pass. But I know in future if I want to write something, so I can write in place of pass. So they cannot have the empty body. The interpreter would give you the error. So we use the pass statement to construct the body that does nothing. See, now the execution of for and then different statement, that is break, then pass and continue, is clear. So in a next session, we will just write the code that is using the for loop and then break statement, then pass statement, then continue statement. We will also use some nested loop condition. That is, we will use the if inside the loop, then if inside the while, then for inside the while, like that. So I hope this is clear. Thank you.